Some of the most powerful lessons in life will never come from a book, a video, or advice from a friend. They hit you during the moments when you are completely on your own, facing a struggle with no one around to guide you. That is where you discover who you really are. If you learn to face those moments instead of running away, they can completely transform your life. Here are 12 challenges you must learn to face alone. First, observe your own habits, like an outsider. Imagine watching your daily life from a distance, the way a total stranger would. Would you respect how you spend your hours? Would you admire your daily routine? Most people can easily spot bad habits in others, yet remain completely blind to their own. Sometimes the very habits you defend are the ones keeping you trapped. Second, spend 1 full hour consuming nothing. No music, no videos, no social media, and no background noise. Just sit alone with your thoughts. The moment the noise stops, every hidden insecurity and regret starts to speak up. Yet the very things you try to escape through constant distraction are often the exact things you need to address. Third, make a tough decision without asking for input. At some point, you have to decide what kind of life you want to build and what you are willing to sacrifice to reach it. Nobody can make that choice for you. Not your friends, not your family, and not the internet. The hardest part is accepting that you will never be 100% sure you made the right call, but taking ownership of that uncertainty is what makes it truly your decision. Fourth, keep pushing forward when nobody is watching. Everyone loves a great success story, but nobody talks about the quiet, lonely months filled with rejection and failure. People never see the days you secretly want to quit. The real test of character is whether you can keep working when there is no applause, no audience, and no one around to recognize your efforts. Fifth, eat a meal alone in a public space. For many people, sitting alone at a restaurant feels intensely uncomfortable, not because eating alone is hard, but because you constantly wonder what strangers think of you. The truth is, most people are far too consumed with their own lives to care. Once you become comfortable being on your own in public, you no longer rely on other people's presence to feel confident. Sixth, accept that you will outgrow certain people. Not everyone who enters your journey is meant to finish it with you. Some people help you move forward, while others keep you stuck in place. One of the hardest lessons to learn is that loyalty is not the same thing as emotional attachment. Holding on to people who constantly drain your energy does not make you loyal. Moving forward often means leaving certain relationships behind. Seventh, be willing to be misunderstood. People will not always understand your goals, your boundaries, or the person you are evolving into. That is not because you are wrong, but because they view the world through a completely different lens, shaped by their own experiences, fears, and beliefs. Sometimes being misunderstood is simply the cost of personal growth. Eighth, learn to say no without offering an explanation. Most people do not actually struggle with the word no. They struggle with the fear of letting others down. So they justify, explain, and search for excuses that sound polite. But every unnecessary explanation is just a quiet plea for approval. The moment you realize that a simple refusal needs no defense, you stop living to satisfy everyone else. Ninth, write one completely honest page you would never show a soul. Open a blank document or notebook, set a timer for 10 minutes, and write continuously without editing or trying to sound smart. Most people live their entire lives hiding the truth from themselves. The moment you stop censoring your own thoughts, your real mental patterns finally become clear. 10th, sit with a difficult question, instead of rushing to fix it. Most people panic when they do not have instant answers, but not every problem can be solved with a quick search or borrowed advice. Some questions require patience. If you give your mind enough quiet space, it will often figure out the answer on its own. 11th, be brave enough to start over from scratch. Starting again is one of the hardest things you will ever do, not because building something new is hard, but because letting go of the familiar is painful. Most people stay stuck in unfulfilling situations simply because they prefer a comfortable past over an uncertain future. Yet the life you actually want often begins the moment you step away from the old one. 12th, take complete responsibility for your future. Life is not always fair. People may hurt you and leave scars that take years to heal, but none of that changes who is responsible for your next step. No matter what happened yesterday, your upcoming move is always your choice. The day you stop waiting for someone to save you is the day you gain real strength, because the strongest version of yourself is forged in the moments you face completely alone.